Assalamualaikum and good morning to Datin Nur Farida binti A. Bakar, Deputy Director, Learning Sector, Selangor State Education Department, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan Bahasa, Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Selangor, Puan Hajah Hanisah binti Muhammad Yusof, Cik Zahira binti Zulkifli, Selangor State Language Officer, State language officers from other states, SIC Plus from all districts of Selangor and other states, our panel of presenters, and all attendees. It is also an honor to have a special audience with us today, Mr. Muhammad Syahrul Hisam bin Muhammad Saleh, Penolong Pengarah Unit Pembelajaran Berkeperluan Berkeperluan Khusus BPSH. Welcome to the last and final session of our webinar for this series, Teaching in the New Normal, Sharing of Best Practices for Home-Based Learning. I'm Fazilah binti Othman from SK Puchong Perdana, and I will be your moderator. For those of you just joining us, welcome. Thank you everyone for making the time to join us today. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, allow me to first share with all of you the objectives of this webinar. The objectives are, first, to share the strategies used by Selangor English language teachers in carrying out home-based learning, HBL, or also known as PDPR, based on high to medium engagement of technology and low engagement to no technology use at all. Secondly, to celebrate the teachers who have worked hard to ensure teaching and learning continues at home. And lastly, to inspire other teachers to do HBL despite the challenges they faced. As I mentioned earlier, this is the sixth and final session from our sixth webinar series. So far, we've had 19 inspiring teachers who have shared their best practices with us. So today, we will hear from another 4 amazing and inspiring teachers. So I hope you will stay tuned till the end of the session because we have a lot to benefit from these 4 amazing presenters who are from 4 different districts in Selangor. We have a presenter from Gombak District, Kuala Langat District, Klang District, and also Kuala Selangor District. These presenters are all teaching in different types of school with different students' social background. This means we have 4 different settings and challenges. The mediums they use are also of various means. So this should be interesting to share and learn from each other today, right? So before we get started, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's session. First, the attendance link will be shared approximately 15 minutes before the end of the session, so do look out for that. Second, we would love to hear from you today. If you have any questions for our presenter, please feel free to send it through the chat box. Just type them during the presentation as we will address the questions at the end of the presentation for each speaker. Fret not, if we're unable to get to your questions during the webinar, we will be sure to follow up afterwards. And last, we would encourage you to share today's webinar with your social network. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to our first presenter. Our first presenter for today is Ms. Madihah binti Murtadza from SK Taman Bukit Indah. The title of her presentation today is Adopt and Adapt, Tapping into Their World. So over to you, Ms. Madihah. Ms. Madihah, can you please on your mic?
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Ms. Faz. Sorry about that.
Right.
Uh, okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Miss Madihah. I'm from SK Taman Bukit Indah from PPD Gombak. Thank you so much as well, Miss Faz, for the wonderful introduction. So moving on to my topic, without further ado. So I've chosen the topic adopt and adapt, tapping into their world. So what I'm trying, the reason why I chose this topic is that I think we have all experienced this. We are all prepared with all our materials, but now because of the current situation that we are having, we have to change from our physical classroom to our online classroom. So what happened was, from my personal experience, I have to change a lot of things, and that includes my material. So as for today, I would be sharing with you how did I go about with my material adaptation, how I adopt and how I adapt my materials. And then later, I would share a bit with you what is material adaptation and also how did I experience my home-based learning with my students. And last but not least, some pictures. All right. Okay. So what is material adaptation? So as you can see from the picture I have shared with you, it's a picture of a cloth, some cloth, and then there are some sewing materials. So I have make an analogy of what material adaptation is. So while I'll be explaining what is material adaptation, probably just to gear up, to start the day, just to gear up our brain, I would like you to think of what might be my analogy is. So yeah, so adapting a material is adapting a process. It is a process of matching what we have to work with, which is the external criteria, and what the materials offer, the internal criteria, in order to maximize teaching materials in a context. So this definition is a definition I took from the CFR Learning Material Adaptation course, which happened in 2017. It was quoted by McDonald and Shaw 1993. So I have to say that I have to thank JPNS and KPM as well for the course, because it helped me a lot in planning my materials, especially during CMCO. I have to look back to my forms, and of course, yes, to the our CFR trainers for helping us with this. So Alhamdulillah, this course had helped me a lot in adapting with the situation we're having right now. So what is material adaptation? So to me, material adaptation is like designing an outfit. Yeah. We are the tailor or the fashion designer and preparing the materials to fit our students. So yeah, my analogy is material adaptation is like designing an outfit. We are designing an outfit to our students to fit their personal needs. That is what we've been doing before. But right now, it's a different situation. We have to redesign our materials to fit the current situation. And I believe all of us had done a great job in doing that. So in designing our materials, in designing an outfit, there are a few criteria to be considered. So there's two criterion. There's internal criterion and also external criterion. So I would like to go first into the internal criteria. So there are 5 internal criteria that is mentioned here in the CFR course. So there's skills, which is the listening, speaking, reading, writing. And then we also have language arts and also grammar items. And then the techniques, the teaching techniques, teaching methodology, teaching resources, and the topic itself. So these are the internal criteria. So this internal criteria is within us and also the students. We already have this. We already prepared this beforehand. We are the master of this. So we also have the external criteria. So the external criteria is the student's background, our background, the student's environment, their setting, our setting. So these two criteria plays a big role in assisting our material adaptation, something that we need to consider in adapting and adopting our materials. Okay. So currently, we are now in an online classroom. We are so used to a physical classroom. We have all the materials prepared for a physical classroom. But now, changing into an online classroom, it's another set of challenge. To have the students present, to understand that they are having their struggle as well, especially in coping with the online setting, and also their availability. Plus, of course, our materials. We have now to adopt our materials and adapt it to the online classroom. Previously, we have all materials prepared. Probably we have a box of materials, but right now we have to change everything into online. So this is what I meant by adapting materials. We are adopting the materials and then we are adapting to the current situation we are in right now. So PDPR as the new norm, remote learning. So what happened was in PDPR and remote learning, we are no longer in the classroom. We can no longer really look at our students and understand their situation. We can no longer really look into their exercises as much as we did in school. It was a different kind of a experience, actually. From my own personal experience, I would say that it lost the human touch. Being a teacher, we're not just a teacher. We're not just a teacher who impart knowledge. We're kind of like, we are also their parents in school. So, of course, before we start our learning, we have to check on their readiness, on their emotional state of being, whether they are really, really available in the learning. So, but being back at the screen, it's a different kind of story. So I believe to adapt PDPR as the new norm is a challenge. But Alhamdulillah, I think most of us have get the hang of it. We're getting better at it, Alhamdulillah. So how to fashion them to fit PDPR? So back to my analogy. So let's talk about fashion. So we have all sorts of fashion, which are now currently in trend. Before, it wasn't really like, for example, vintage fashion. Currently, some people are into it. So how we fashion vintage to fit the current new trend? We have new trends, we have old trends, and how can we fit the old trends to fit the new trends? So that is what we are doing. We are trying to fit and fashion our materials to fit our students' needs in remote learning. So personal. So this is something that I would consider an additional aspect that I would consider when I planned or designed my materials. I would go personal about it because back in schools, we get to actually talk with our students, but behind camera, behind screen, it doesn't really, the emotion doesn't really come, and we can't really understand whether our students are ready with the class or not. So to make it personal, I would normally touch into their personal experience at home. For example, since they are all had to be at home, so my lesson would revolve around things that they can reach at home, things that they can do at home. And also, let's say if they are not available in Google Meet, for example, how can I fashion my materials to fit WhatsApp, for example, or maybe Telegram? So I make it personal to them. Then another one, okay, these are the factors to consider. So just now I mentioned about personal. So how do I go personal? First, like I've mentioned, we considered them at home. So how to make it contextual? What we and they have at home, that's what I would consider. How they can go about at home and make it contextual. And then later, I consider myself as well. Do I have the means? Do I have the skill? What are the skills that I can do? What are my strengths? For example, I'm quite interested with Canva. So I try to use Canva as much as I can with the students. In fact, it is a bit, I think, easy to be used because some of my students, they don't have laptops, they have phones. So Canva, we can just download it through apps. So it's kind of helpful in helping the students as well. And also they get to have fun with Canva. So Alhamdulillah, it went well. So the last consideration was students. So what they can do through the screen. I considered my students, whether they have laptops or they have only handphone. So if they have laptops, what kind of work that I'd be giving them? What kind of work that I'd be giving if they're using phones? So these are the three factors that I add on to help me in adapting my materials. So personal touch. Here, what I would like to talk about is the humanistic approach. Back in school, we have that. We can actually engage with the students. We can have like leveled out with the students on how they're feeling of the day. If they're feeling blue, if they're not feeling well. But behind the screen, they can't really say it much because first, most of the time, they have to listen to us, and there are like probably like 10 or 20 of them. So not many can actually engage in sharing. So I try to make it more personal touch in a sense where I divide my class. I've been teaching 2 classes, 5 Bakawali and 5 Hazel. So I made it, each class have 2 sessions, morning session and evening session. So I split it into 2 to give more opportunity for personal touch to happen. So each student will have their opportunity to share for at least 5 minutes on how they feel of the day and what they want to share, probably their hobby, what they are feeling and experience at home. So now, moving on to our lessons. So like I've said just now, I have planned out a few lessons. I'm teaching year 5 English. So here goes one of my first lessons. So these are the current ones. These are 2 lessons. It's from Unit 3, Lost and Found. So yes, of course, I adopt the materials in the textbook and I adapt it to fit the student's needs. First, in this lesson, I considered on making it fun learning. And then I considered as well if they can do it. If, let's say you want to do some action in the classroom, like PPR, so I considered whether it's something that they can do at home, not something that is a bit of a challenge for them. And then, as you can see from the slide, we did scavenger hunt. What happened was I described them an item. So they have to find me the item that best fit the description. So this is actually interesting because what happened was my kids, they really try their best to actually find the items that fit the description I mentioned. So in preparing the descriptions, I really make sure that those items are available at home, of course. And of course, something that they are interested in. And to do so, I really have to know my kids. I really have to know my students. What are their likes? What are their dislikes? And knowing that currently there was this one movie out in Netflix, Enola Holmes. So I use this movie, I adopt this movie and fit it into my lesson for reading skills. The scavenger hunt is for listening and speaking. But for reading skills, we did some Sherlock experience where we tried to find a clue. So what happened was I prepared a riddle and some text for them to read, and they have to guess the clue that will help them to know where did Enola's mother went missing. So after that, they are given a task to watch the movie, and with some homeworks given, of course, they have to think of what do they think of the movie? What do they think, right? You know, the kind that we do 2 stars and a wish. So they have to watch the movie and think of what they like about the movie and what they dislike. It could be anything as simple as probably they don't like Enola Holmes's dress, or maybe they don't like Enola's brother, or maybe they just like the setting. It could be as simple as that. Or probably they could also share about what they think about the plot of the story. Yes, of course, my class consists of mixed ability students. So yes, there are few students who would be having trouble sharing and probably they're kind of like stuck. But that's where we as a teacher had to help them. I've always made myself available online, as in through WhatsApp. They can PM me anytime. So I will try to accommodate them and help them if they have issues understanding the task given, or probably they stuck at what is possible. Sometimes kids, they don't know what to say. So we kind of like have to move them a bit about it. Yeah, so that's what I did. This is like our last week's lesson. So the next one is Unit Building, Unit 2, Year 5 English. So what happened was that this is I had this help. I got this lesson with the help from my practical teachers. So what we did was we did a Neverland pop-up card. So yeah, we started off by reading the script in the textbook about Peter Pan, and then we went through a few videos of Peter Pan, and then we imagined our own Netherland. So from there, they have to describe what would their Netherland look like. And after that, they would make a pop-up card, and later for the next lesson, they would actually share it with their friends and describe a bit of their own Neverland pop-up card. Yep. So this one is for Unit 11, Natural Disaster. Okay, I have a video for you to see. So it's a volcano experience. This is actually a volcano toy my student found. He said that he just realized he had this years before. I think his friend bought it for him. So it actually fits our lesson of the day. We had some volcano. We read about Mount Vesuvius. This is from the textbook, but I adopted and adapted to fit the students. We watched a video and share about how they feel about the video. Some of them are quite shocked and surprised because they are not they've never imagined how volcano eruption would look like. So, and then later on, after we finished the class, one of the students mentioned that he had this toy back at home, and he made it with his parents and shared it with us. So the kids actually had some volcano experience, even though from the screen. But I think it is a good experience because we have never actually experienced any volcano eruption, right? Alhamdulillah for that. But I think it's quite a what would we say, a good view to look at how volcano is looked like, even though we hope that it will never happen in Malaysia. It will never, I hope. So this is for Unit 11. And then this is Unit 3. This happened during the first MCO. Unit 3, Superheroes. So what happened was in this lesson, it was during Ramadan. So we had this good deeds project. So these are 3 pictures that I picked to share with you. I have quite a number, but I think this is, I've got permission to share these photos to everyone. So the first picture is one of my students, Alicia. She made lompang with her parents. It's a good deed project where it's a day where you will be helping your parents and then share it with us on the later lessons. So the second one is Damia. She's making a cornflake, honey cornflakes, with her mother as well. And then the third picture is Furkan Adha. So he said he helped his mother to fold cloths. I think this is like a doable activities to be done at home with your parents' assistance. And then it's good to actually share what you're doing and make it memorable to them, because sometimes we did this, but we never had really the opportunity to share and also feel good at doing what we're doing good. For example, as simple as folding the clothes, washing the dishes. So kids need appreciation at what they're doing, even towards the little things. So yeah, we did good deeds project for about a week. And I also had one student who shared with us his experience on being an imam for his family's Tarawih prayer. So I was so proud of him. I told him that is a very good deeds that you did. I really applaud him for doing so. His name is Zikri. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy for this. We had a lot of fun doing our good deeds projects.
All right.
And then
Madihah?
Yes.
Right. We're actually running out of time. Can you just
Okay.
all right, go quickly, yeah.
Sure.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so the last one is we did poems. We all become a poet for a day. So these are the poems. And then thanking the frontliners. So we did make a poster and then we share it with the frontliners. And apparently I had a few friends who were working in the hospital. So I shared the poster to them and then they got replied and I shared it with my students. And then we also sent some postcards and raya cards to our friends. So yeah, what I made was that I make the lesson personal to them, where they have to actually do and contribute and feel good about it and enjoy the lessons eventually. So because I believe that learning will never stop to us and also the students, and always believe that students are full of surprises. They can make wonders, trust me. And also, before I end this, just a few quotes from Sir Ken Robinson. Educating is not only a process of directing instruction, but also to inspire, to feed curiosity, to facilitate. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Back to you, Faz.
All right. Thank you so much for your presentation. I mean, I've been reading out the comments and they're only seeing good things about it, how it's very personalized and actually it's good for us teachers to actually adapt and adopt. All right. And you are making it, the activities are like doable. They can do it. Definitely. The kids can do it, definitely. All right. So but I just like to know more. All right. So you do it's important for us to actually adopt and adapt, right? So but what do you how do you usually differentiate your materials to cater for the mixed ability students?
Okay, that's a good question, Faz. Thank you so much. Like I've mentioned, I have two sessions with my students. So the first session would be students that I personally and privately picked. For example, they are of advanced proficiency. So the materials and the question that I would pose to them is a bit higher. But for the later ones, would be a bit probably easy for them to comprehend. And then, for example, let's say for the first group, I would put more activities to cater their needs. But for the second group, I would make it like lesser so that they can actually understand better. So I have actually handpicked them and also to fit their availability to actually help them to differentiate their lessons, to help them understand the lesson more, and also help them to engage with the lesson. If it's too difficult, they won't join us.
Yeah.
So from earlier start, I have actually grouped them, but they didn't know I purposely do that. They didn't know I do it behind their backs. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Okay, all right. Good effort. Congratulations, Madihah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, now, all right, let's move on to our second presenter. I would like to invite Mr. Nik Muhammad Fazreen Shah bin Azman Shah from SK Sungai Judah Asli Pulau Keri with the title of his presentation, Asli Kids and the Challenges During CMCO. Let's welcome Mr. Nik Muhammad Fazreen Shah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good morning to all. Thank you, Miss Faz. So, by the way, my name is Nik Muhammad Fazreen Shah bin Azman Shah, and currently I'm teaching in Sekolah Kebangsaan Sungai Judah. Okay, I'm trying to share my slides now. I'm so sorry about the technical.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, sorry.
Are you?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be proceeding with my slides. So while waiting for the slides to be on the screen, can I just proceed?
Yes, sure. Like maybe you can tell us
Okay.
a bit about your background of your school.
Okay. So basically, a little sneak peek of my schools. All right.
Okay.
So basically, Sekolah Kebangsaan Sungai Judah is actually located in Pulau Keri, Selangor. And it consists of 106 students for mainstream, where we have students from year 1 until year 6. And most of the parents in SK Sungai Judah, they are working as a fisherman, and some of them, they are working at the palm plantations, which runs by Samdabi. And orang asli in SK Sungai Judah mostly are from Mahmedi tribe, where they live at the coastal region or at the island part of Selangor. And most of them, they are using the native speaker in their daily conversations. And not just that, I would consider my students coming from low and average English proficiency. And I would say that in SK Sungai Judah, it is very hard to get the connections, and I would consider that we have a very poor connections, and the best connection that you can get there is actually 3G. So it's a bit challenging, especially in terms of conducting the online lesson. Okay, all right. So this is so I will show you a little bit of the pictures of Mahmedi tribe. Okay, so in my school, Mahmedi tribe is actually they have like few villages around the school area, and men for Mahmedi tribe, they are really good in wood crafting, where basically whatever product that they produce actually represent the deities, and sometimes it represents the spirit of the nature. Okay, and for women, they are really good in palm weaving, where each of their product is actually symbolize something. And later on, my friend will show you the slides and some of the example pictures that of their products. And for Mahmedi tribe, their traditional dance is known as Jo'oh dance. Okay. All right. So how we are in SK Sungai Judah planning and implementing PDPR. So basically, we have chosen two different types of PDPR, which is the first one. On the first phase of MCO, we mainly focus on the online lesson where we focus on using the WhatsApps. And on the first phase of MCO also, we have conducted a small scale survey where we see how many students are actually able to follow our online class. So on the second phase of the lesson of the MCO, we try to come out with another solution for those students who are unable to follow the online class. Okay, all right. This is an online class. Like what I told you before. We try to use the most common mediums for them. So we use WhatsApp. So it's easy because everyone knows how to use WhatsApp. So we try to convert from the traditional classroom. So we try to produce a lesson, and then we just paste them in the WhatsApp groups that we have created for each classes. And some of the teachers, they use YouTube. They also use the Kahoot and some other tools that you can find in the open source. And for the offline, we have focused on the offline based tasks where most of the teachers, we will come on Monday and we will drop the exercise or whatever worksheet that we would like the students to do at the security post. And then the parents will come and collect, and they will drop by the completed tasks on Friday, and the teacher will collect them and will give the feedback on the following week. Okay. All right. Okay. What are the challenges that we have faced during the CMCO? Okay. I have put this in four different aspects, which is the first challenges is digital literacy. We can see that most of the kids, especially in SK Sungai Judah, most of the family and most of the parents and the students, they are not really familiar with the new platform, with the new norms. So we try to use the most common one. So that's why we focus on the WhatsApp. And it is also, when we are talking about digital literacy, it is very hard to break the mindset from the traditional classroom into the online platform. So these are one of the problems that we face. And the other challenges is about the technical issues, where in SK Sungai Judah, like what I told you before, the connection is very poor. The best that we can get is 3G. So we have to consider that too. And some of the students, we found out on our first phase of MCO, we have found out that most of the students, around 50 to 60% of the students, they don't have the accessibility to the devices and also the connections of the internet. And the next challenges is the time consuming. Since we have given students an ample time to complete the task, it is very hard for the teacher to keep track on the completed tasks that students have done. And at the same times, the teacher, we have to prepare like 24/7 because we would like the students to have the immediate feedbacks. So whenever the students have sent their exercise or their completed tasks, we try our best to be there for them, so that the students know that we are actually always there for them whenever they need us. And in SK Sungai Judah too, we found out that most of the students, they don't have motivations to learn. They don't see the purpose of learning, especially when we are talking about English. Because like what I told you before, at home they use their own mother tongue, which is Mahmeri language. So English has become their third or the other language. Okay. And then next, so how we in SK Sungai Judah overcome these challenges? So we have come up with 4 different ways to overcome this problem, which is the first one. Okay, the first one is actually a common platform, like what I told you before. Okay, this is the challenges. Okay, can we go to the next slides? Okay, so these are the challenges that you can see that we are facing in SK Sungai Judah. All right. Okay, so these are the ways that we have come out to overcome the challenges that we have faced. Okay, can we move on to the next slides? All right. Okay, so like what I told you before, so we try to our best to use a common platform, so it's easy because the parents has already familiar with, and the kids also, some of them they already know how to use. So these are some of the example of WhatsApp group that we have created for each class. So this one is for year 6, and another one is for year 5. Okay, next slide, please. All right. Okay, so the second so this is a second one. So we found out that most of students, they are having a problem. Some of them, they might wanted to join the online class, but somehow maybe the instructions of the questions or instruction of the task is not so clear. So what we did was, whenever we give the students exercise, we try to provide them the first task. We try to provide them with the most simplest task. So because we want them to have the sense of achievement, and for us, we want them to know what are the keys that we are trying to teach on that particular day. And then some of the teachers, we try to use videos, we try to use games just to enhance the learning process, to make the students more interested to learn. And in terms of instruction, we try our best to make sure that instruction is actually simple, short, and it's easy for the students to understand. And there were times when we have to provide them with the translations, so it's easy for them to carry out the tasks. Okay, the next slide, please. Okay, all right. So the third one is flexible. So we try our best to be as flexible as possible, because we know we cannot, force the students to, whenever you give the task, you want them to finish up the task on that particular time. So what we did was, we provide the students early in the morning the task, and we expect them to finish up the task within a week duration of times. So and after they finish, each students who manage to finish the task, we will reward them with marks. Because in SK Sungai Judah, we have a rewarding system, which I will explain more later. Okay, next. Okay, so this is a reward system that we use in SK Sungai Judah. And at the same time, also we realized that our asli kid is not really, they are really shy. They are not really confident with themselves. So what we did was, whenever they completed the task, we tried to give positive feedback to them. So whenever they complete the task, we don't really focus on the marks that they get at the end of the exercise, but we praise them based on their efforts on doing the exercise, their efforts in get themselves involved in the PDPR on that particular day. Okay, next. Okay, so these are the differentiated strategy that we use in the schools. So we use the differentiated by the task given. So like what I told you before. So in order for us to get everyone involved in the lessons, we try to use the simplest activities to the most challenging. And the second one, we use the differentiated strategies by the outcome expected. So this one is actually based on the proficiency of the students. Okay, next. Okay, so this is what I explained just now. Okay, next. Okay, all right. So these are some of the success story that we have received during the CMCO. Okay, so if you can, like what you can see, the blue one is actually during the phase 1 of MCO, where the number of the students that we receive who responded to our online class is not that many. So that's why we try to use other tools as well. We try to use the offline based tasks also. So we did receive more feedback from the students, more response from the students. So we are quite happy with this. Okay, the next one. Okay, so the second one, we can see some of the students, they gain more confident. So for example, like this little girl, her name is Rosiana. In the classroom, it's hard for you to see that she speak or she respond to whatever task that you given her. But during the MCO, we can see that she somehow gain more confident in completing the task, because I can see that before this she will somehow respond by giving the written answers, and then moving to the next stage where she have the courage to record it herself, responded to the questions. And the latest one, this one I got this week, where she managed to do a video of herself reading, and I was like quite impressed with her. And I can see that some of students, they really gain more confident during this CMCO. All right, okay, the next one. Okay, so this is a reward system that we use in our schools. It is known as students QR point, where whenever the students that they do their positive, any positive, positive achievement, we will reward them based on that. Okay, so what is QR student point? Can we go to the next slide? All right, so what is QR student point? So basically, QR student point is actually a behavioral assessment attendance system for students using the QR code. So next. Okay, so yeah, okay, the best part about the QR students or QR point is actually they are compatible to all devices, and the teacher can do the rapid multiple QR scanning, because each students, they have their own QR code, where the teacher, let's say if the teacher, they want to reward students 10 students at one time, they can just scan straight away. It is easy for the teachers. And real-time students monitoring, yes, it is online. You can access it anytime, anywhere you are. And four, there are friendly teachers app. Yes, I will show you later. And the best part about these apps, where the students are really enjoy, is that they have a leaderboard. It means that every month we will show the students the leaderboard. They can see who's gain more marks on that particular week or in that particular month. And it is also has rapid reporting with instant e-cert, where you can straight away get the e-cert from the apps. And the most interesting part also, they have a lot of cute badges. It means that whenever the students gain something, they will get the badges. So that is one of the part that students love the most. Okay, next. Okay, the next one. Okay, so this is one of the demo that I can show you on how to use the QR students that we use in the school. Okay, all right. Can you please click on the Okay. Okay, can you please click on the videos? All right. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. So let's say whenever the teacher, they want to reward the student with marks, they can simply click on the apps icon. So they will come out. The icon will come out. Okay, where you can choose the student based on their class. And then the best part is that there are a lot of category that you can edit, and maybe you can discuss it with your pentadbir, and you can also give marks according to how many marks that you would like the students to get. And then at the right side, you can see actually one of the videos, because the other video is actually showing you that the QR code is not just for the student, but it is also can be used for the teachers. As you can see at the right side of the picture, there is actually a link. So that is actually a link where during the MCO, we do our online RPH. So by clicking on the button, there will come out like a list of like a list where you have to fill in and you have to submit. A very simple, I would say a very simple tools that we can use for the teacher. It is very short, where you can just fill in the blank, and then you can submit. So that's it. So you have finished your lesson plan on that particular day. Okay, next. Okay, all right, next. Okay, so I think that's it from me. Thank you. So back to Mr. Faz, Miss Faz, sorry.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing, Mr. Nick Muhammad Fazreen. Impressive. It's just impressive. I mean, challenges do exist no matter where you
Exactly.
are, right? But what's important is we teachers should try our best to overcome these challenges. And I'm sure this is what the teachers are doing. You're doing a very fantastic
Thank you.
job, right? Okay, so alright. But can you just share with a lot of can you share with the viewers here? You shared about the challenges, right? But how do you besides using the reward system, is there any other way that you motivate your ASLI kids to engage
Okay,
in PCR?
what I was doing in my school, what our teacher, the teachers in SK Sungai Judah, what we did was most of the time we try to spend most of our time with the kids because like what I told you before, most of the ASLI kids, they are not really, they don't have the confidence, to speak, to do exercise, to do things like kids in the other schools. But so what we try to do was we try to spend more time with them. We try to understand them, and we try to prepare a non-threatening environment for them, not just for the learning. For example, like my school, we focus on physical activity. For example, like we did join Milo, Milo Active Jam. So for that Milo Active Jam, we got, for the family category, we got we won at the state level, and at the national level we got the third place. So
Wow.
it means that the students actually, they are able to do that. What you have to do is that you have to encourage them. You have to be there for them so that they feel safe and they have the willingness to do things.
All right. Thank you so much. It's just amazing. All right. Okay. So thank
Welcome.
you once again for your sharing, Mr. Nick Muhammad Fazrin.
Sure, you're welcome.
All right. Okay. So audience at home, if you have any questions, do ask. All right. You can just type in the chat box and I'll address it to our presenter here. All right. Okay. So next, allow me to introduce to you to the third presenter for today. A teacher from Klang district, Madam Lim Hong Wei, who is currently teaching in SJKC Chung. The title of her presentation is My Way. Madam Lim, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Faz. All right. Good morning, everyone. Wow, I enjoyed Jegu Madihah's and Jegu Nick's presentation. Very inspiring. All right. Now, a little bit of background of myself for my sharing. All right. I'm currently teaching in SJKC Chonghua Klang in Kota Kemuning. I teach year 4, year 5, and year 6 English. All right. Right? And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Selangor for giving me this opportunity to share with you on what I did during MCO and CMCO. All right, so let's have a look at what's my way of having my lessons. So before I proceed with my slides, let me tell you some of my challenges that I face or limitations. Well, from a physical classroom to online classroom, it's a big challenge for all the teachers, right? So first problem that we face is the attendance. All right. So at first, okay, for my school, even though they do not have much problems with their internet, all right, but for the first MCO, I got quite low attendance from the students, right? Possibly, okay, why? Okay, possibly because of lack of devices. All right, I have parents telling me that they have siblings, all right? So some of them, let's say their lessons may clash, okay, in terms of the schedule, all right? So that's why they do not have enough devices for all the children at home, right? And then as for lack of motivation, so what do you think? There are a lot of distractions at home, pupils, when they are at home, they tend to play computer games, they tend to play mobile phone games, and then they are not motivated to come to school, okay, or online lesson. All right, so that's the lack of motivation part, right? Lack of responses. We won't know whether they are paying attention as we can't see them. All right, so during my lesson, it was very difficult to get them to on their webcam for the first MCO. All right. As for the second CMCO, I kind of find a way where I contacted the parents, and then I did a little bit of survey asking them whether they could on their webcam. All right. So for the second wave, everything works just fine. All right. Now, as for late submission, okay, I think all the teachers have such problem where pupils submitted their classwork late. All right, it's not easy to get them to hand in their work online on time. For my students, some of them, they had problem with their experience of using online application. That means they do not know the way of doing online classwork. So what I did was I did a step sheet. Okay, I shared it to the parents so that they can guide their children on how to do online classwork. And the last one, which is not a major problem here, which is the poor connection. All right. I think it only affects when the weather is not so promising. Okay, like now I'm actually having quite a poor connection. I hope I don't get disconnected. All right. So when they have connection problem, my students tend to be frustrated, and they kind of give up on their classwork, or they kind of give up in terms of attending my Google Meet lesson. All right, let's have a look at how did I manage all this. First of all, I created a WhatsApp group with the parents so that I can give them updated materials, or let's say information, so that they are always updated with their students' program, their child's progress, and then they could help me, okay, to monitor their work. All right. So far I have very supportive parents, and then they help me a lot in monitoring their child in their classwork. All right. And then, okay, parent support is very important. So we can't see them, and then we can't look at their physical classwork. So it's very difficult for us. So that's why we need parents as our bridge, okay, to support us, all right, by monitoring and by guiding the children on how to go about the online lessons, and on how to go about completing the classwork. And the last one, what about those students who have problem in attending Google Meet lesson? So what I did was I prepared a puzzle lesson, or I pre-record the lesson, or okay, I still carry on with my Google Meet lesson, but I recorded the whole teaching and learning session, and then I upload the recordings in Google Classroom, so that for those who were absent, or for those who can't, who couldn't attend my Google Meet, they could refer to the slides, or they could refer to the recordings in Google Classroom. All right. So what I use for my e-lesson? Well, learning doesn't stop during MCO or CMCO. I'm very sure every teacher is exploring different alternatives to make sure teaching and learning continue. All right. So from the previous sharings, I'm sure everyone here found the best practices, or found practices that you like. Well, how I deal with home-based teaching and learning, I highly rely on Google Classroom and Google Meet sessions and all the Google applications. All right. Besides that, here are some tools that I have tried along the way. So as you can see, quizzes, I've tried quizzes, which is fun and interactive, Paddock, Nearpod, Word Wall, Mentimeter, Jamboard, Padlet, Flipgrid, Google Slides, Google Documents, and also Google Form. They're all fun and interactive, but based on my experience, there are some restrictions in terms of the space limit, use of certain features. All right, so where we need to subscribe for let's say full package. So when I have such problem, I have decided to use to focus on Google applications. All right, so there are 5 applications which I like due to their stability. They are Flipgrid, Google Slides, Google Documents, Google Forms, and also Padlet. All right, so let's have a look on what I did. All right, first of all, you may know what Flipgrid is. It is a platform for pupils to speak up um, in their comfort zone. Okay, that means they don't feel so stressed out when they are speaking in front of the students. So it gives an opportunity for them to talk about anything they want. Okay, or when we want them to post any reviews on books, movies, or television shows, they can do it at home at any time. All right, and it's the most comfortable place they are in. Consider using a grid as a way to collect a range of students' responses. So when we use Flipgrid, we can assess them, in terms of speaking and their presentation skills. Perhaps we can ask students at the end of a unit to reflect on what they have learned and what they would recommend to other students. So in Flipgrid, you can actually comment on other people's videos, and you can give a like. And there are a lot of things which we can do using Flipgrid. Okay, I enjoy using Flipgrid with my year 4 students. All right, especially when we need to get them to share what they know or to share about a lesson. Right, so we know that some pupils are lack of confidence or they are shy when it comes to speaking or making presentation, right? So using this tool, trust me, you may be surprised by those who refuse to speak up in class. So I have a video here. Let's hear from a boy who always choose to remain silent even when I ask him questions, all right? I could hardly hear him speak in the classroom. So when I received his work, I was surprised that he actually tried his best. All right, let us have a look.
The most important celebration in my country are Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, and Deepavali. Chinese New Year is celebrated between January and February. Hari Raya is celebrated at the end of Ramadan. Deepavali is celebrated in November or October each year. Tada? 3, 2, 1, start. During each festival, all my family members will get together for dinner, and kids will play until late night. I love Chinese New Year the most because I can get a lot of ang pao. Yay!
Wow. Okay. What a surprise, right? As you can see from his video, he actually tried his best by writing down a script, and then definitely he got his parents to help to record his presentation. And despite the mother tongue interference, I believe that he had done a great job. All right. So we have I have received some other surprises from my students who hardly talk in the classroom. So I believe that this is quite good for them to practice speaking in front of the screen or to help boost their confidence in speaking. All right. And besides Flipgrid,
The most important
okay. All right. So the next Google application that I like the most is using Google Slides. All right. Why I like this? Because I use this to prepare my lesson, and also I assign homework with it too. As you can see, when I assign this, pupils are able to drop the correct answer, the correct words, correct phrases in the correct space. All right. If you look at the pictures, these are done by Google Slides, where I insert the picture as the background so that they are not able to move the picture. All right. And then I have colorful answers, colorful words there for them to drag and drop in the correct space. So it is a way, instead of using Google document solely on Google document, I tried with Google Slides, and I think it works best. Okay. All right. And this is another example where you could see that I can give feedback by just dragging all the signs, or just type in my feedback. All right, for students, and I can, when I return the work to the students, they will be able to see all my feedback and do some corrections. All right, so this is one of my favorites. Yes. All right, Google Slides with Bitmoji, we can include Bitmoji too, okay, which makes the lessons interesting, or to make the work interesting too. All right. Now this is another example, and another sample where pupils drag and place the circles on the best answer. This is taken from the work in Get Smart Plus 4, all right, as we are introducing on the format of a diary. So for more able pupils, they are challenged to write a diary of any topic after the first task given. As for less able pupils, they could follow the sample and make some changes if they could. So we can do differentiated learning here. All right. And the next one, when I give feedback and return the work, they could see it and do corrections. As you can see from the slides, okay, these are how I gave my feedback, and they will be able to see my suggested answer, suggested feedback, and they would be able to do correction after that. Now, it can also be customized into worksheets like this, okay, A4 size. Pupils click and type out the answer. So as you can see, they cannot move the background questions. So they just need to click on the space given and then to fill up the answers. All right, that's why I like Google Slides instead of other applications. And the next favorite application that I use is Google Document. All right, so as you can see, pupils type in their answers and clear feedback can be given. All right, so when they type in their answers, for worksheets like this, I always assign to my higher level pupils, for example, year 5 and year 6 pupils. I believe they have the experience, they have the capability of handling Google document. So for the first part of MCO, I actually had a section with them where I taught them how to go about all the Google applications. So now they are experts, right? So this is one of the examples, right? Now, during MCO, FCMCO, it's difficult to collect people's writing for marking, right? So instead of collecting all the physical workbooks or writing books from the students, so I chose to use Google Document. I could mark their work anytime, internet connection. Besides, all their work will be saved automatically in the Google Drive. So I can access to any of their work anytime or even in future. So they serve as good evidence samples for assessment purposes, and they can be recycled, okay, for future use. What I like about Google Apps, all right, this is how I actually, if you can see, okay, the format. This is one of the samples given by one of the students. So this was how I gave feedback. All right. So as you can see, all the feedback will be highlighted and it will be in another color. So it's easy for them to identify the mistake and they will be able to see my feedback as well. All right. So what I like about Google application, all the work done by the pupils are recorded, and I could even trace what they have edited. All right. Let's say they have done something wrong and they told me about it. I could trace back and I could paste back what they have done earlier. All right. When we assign a work, a template will be saved. So all these can be recycled for future use. Right. The next one, Google Forms. Why I like this? It is the most stable application for me. I mean, from my experience, parents texted me. I received a lot of messages, all right, from parents telling me that the child having problem accessing to quizzes, and then the score doesn't show, and so on. All right. So ended up they kind of gave up on the work. So what I found was Google Forms works best for my classroom. All right, it is the most stable application so far, where it generates scores immediately, and once we import grades, they will be displayed clearly in Google Classroom. So it's easy for me to trace or to find their record, okay, in Google Classroom. There are many tools, okay. Here are some examples, okay. Listening, we could put in videos, all right, and then for them to answer. And then I do this for my assessment too. All right, there are many tools to explore. Actually, we just have to find the most suitable ones for our teaching. To me, all these that I have mentioned works best for me. So with that, I end my sharing, and let's enjoy teaching in the new normal. I hope you find the best practices from all this sharing. Thank you for listening, and back to Faz.
All right. Thank you, Madam Lee. Okay, so I'm reading this. Yeah, there are a lot of tools, and you use a lot of tools as well. Okay, so but just a question. What are the problems that you face when you assign homework using these tools or apps?
I think the main problem is how they could use the technology, their experience in the technology in completing the work. Some of them, they might be good in computer games, or they might be good in YouTube, all right, watching videos on YouTube. But I found that a lot of them, they are not familiar with the application, online application. So that's the biggest problem. So I had to do a lot of guidance. Okay, by pre-recording the steps, okay, on how to complete the work. Or I even had sessions, Google Meet sessions with the students, and show them step by step on how to do all their works online. So basically, I think it's going well right now.
All right. Thank you so much for your presentation. Just amazing. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Faz. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Okay. All right. So for our last presenter, let us welcome Madam Nurulhafizah binti Mahmood with the title of her presentation, What's in the Code? So let's hear it from her.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Faz. Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Teacher Nurul from SK Bandar Kuala Selangor. Okay, I'm going to share something maybe you've heard before this, but it's quite interesting and very helpful for my kids. Okay, okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, so my title is What's in the Code. Okay, what is it? First, I'm going to explain about self-learning because I really love self-learning because for me, kids, they can choose the way to learn, where to learn, when to learn, how they want to sit, they want to lean against the wall, okay, anywhere, what situation that they like, because I love to learn like that. I don't like to learn in a very compact room, okay, and then I want to be comfortable to learn anything, okay, to learn new things, okay. And then I also doing blended classroom because before this, during the MCO, I've taught kids by using the YouTube, okay. And then during the RMCO, the kids, okay, I started using the blended classroom. I gave them a video a week before the lesson, and then the kids are going to learn. They're going to do exercises that I've prepared in the video, and then they come to the school the next week, and I just proceed with all the hands-on activities, the listening, the speaking, the impact activities with the friends. Okay. So challenges. The challenges, I've got different challenges for 3 different MCO, RMCO, and CMCO situations. Okay, during the MCO,
Nurulhafizah,
yeah.
can you please share your slide? We cannot see your slide.
Oh, I shared it already. Okay, let me end it first. Oh, okay, because it's already sharing. Okay, I've shared already.
You already shared? Okay, all right.
Okay, let me try again.
Oh yeah, maybe you should stop sharing first and then you
Yes.
share it again.
Stop. Okay, now I'm trying to retry. Okay, can you see the slide now? Can you see the slide now?
Yes.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I have 3 different different challenges during the MCO, RMCO, and CMCO. During the MCO, okay, because I've done the online class via Zoom, quizzes, Google Classroom, but it ended up with only 7% of the pupils participated. Oh yeah, before that, my pupils, most of them are from different and various family background, and also they are mixed ability students. I have the advanced learners, intermediate, and also the slow learners at the same time. I have 40 plus pupils in each class, and I've been teaching 3 classes, and the total of the pupils are 120 plus pupils. So it's quite, for me, 70% is not good for me, so because I want at least 90 to 95% of them to attend and to do all the works that I gave out to them. Okay, and then during the RMCO, 25% pupils, they didn't turn up to school because of COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, because we cannot question the parents to stop sending the kids to school during pandemic because they were very afraid of the virus. Okay, and also during the CMCO right now, we won't have the chance to meet the pupils to discuss on the answers, okay? Because I'm really concerned, okay, what's the point of I'm giving out all the works, okay, and then I mark them without discussing about the answers. So I'm really concerned about that. So, and then I came up with this solution one. I prepared my own English module. With I name it English module by Teacher Nurul. So for the module, it is only for PBD assessment for reading comprehension and writing for TP1 to TP4. Okay, let us see. Okay, how to use my module. So I prepared for each module, for each page or subtopic, I have different lesson video. Okay, I've prepared my own lesson videos. It's that yes, we have so many lesson videos in the YouTube, but I have this kind of way of thinking, because I want my pupils to look at my face, and I want to deliver the lesson by myself to them. I want them to see my face every day when they're doing the work. Okay, so I prepared the video in my YouTube. Okay, let me play it. Hi, welcome back to Teacher Nurul's online classroom. For today's lesson, we are going to learn about the top of the shield. Okay. I'm going to move forward. Yeah? Okay. This is the end of the. In the video, I've already provided some exercises. Okay, but at the same, this one is like they're doing exercises in the classroom. They're doing it together with me. Okay, I was thinking like, okay, now let us do it together with me, and then later on they're going to pause the video and they're going to answer, write it in the CMCO's exercise book, and then later on I'm going to discuss the answer. Powerful to read. He had who's super book. Okay, the red T-shirt. Oh my God! So I'm going to discuss. I'm going to discuss on the answers on the spot after they've done writing it. Okay. The channel. This is about from the YouTube. So please go to YBM to listen to the song again. Please repeat again and again. You can. Okay, so what they're going to do first they're going to scan the QR code to watch the lesson video. Yes, I always remind the pupils, you must scan the code even though you've already knew. Okay, no, this is PEA. I know I already knew the answer. But I always ask them, okay, I want you to watch the video first, do exercises in the video, okay, and then later on, I want you to go move to the module, okay, and try to complete the module, okay, and then you're going to answer the questions. In my module also, I've already provided the PBD for which one, for like this one is 3.1.2, 3.1.3, and 4.2.4. So it is. It makes me easy. It makes me easy to give them TP after this. Okay. And then since we are not going to meet the pupils again after this, okay, because they're not going to school after this for this year. So I've prepared the answers, the answer sheet. Okay, for the answer sheet, parents, they are going to mark the answers, so they don't have to come to school and to submit the module to me. Okay, but they can do it at home. So parents, they are going to mark the answer, and then for the discussion, okay, discussion or explanation on the videos, okay, pupils, they only have to scan on the QR code again. And then they're going to watch the discussion or explanation videos on my YouTube. Okay, this is the example of the discussion video. Page 6. Fill in the blanks with EE or EA. Both EE and EA sounds the same, which is E. Okay. So I have like this one for module chapter 9, I have 9 pages. So I have 9 different lesson videos, and I have 9 different discussion or explanation videos. So they can watch the videos, they can do the exercise. The parents, if they don't know how to explain to the kids, they can watch the explanation videos first, and they can help the kids without knowing what they are going to teach them. Okay. Okay, next, I have another, the last page. Okay, I have the last page of the module is the report card. Okay, for the report card, this one is the parents, they're going to fill the marks. They're going to fill in the marks in the report card. And then they're going to take a photo, and they only have to send to me by using the Google form. Okay, like this one. Okay, These are the examples of the report cards. Okay. So the parents, they just have to write down the marks, and then they only have to snap a picture and send it to me. Okay, so it's a win-win situation. They don't have to come to school. We have the distance, and then I've got the mark, and I can work on my PBD assessment. Okay, so this one, I'm going to move to PBD assessment. For the modules, I only focus on reading and writing. Okay, like this one, this is the example for TP1 and TP2. Okay, I set the TP by myself, okay, according to my kids. And this one is for TP3 and TP4. Okay, what about the other skills? Okay, this one is for video making. If anyone wants to know, okay, I'm using PowerPoint and Bandicam, which is for the screen recorder, because I'm comfortable using these two apps, yeah. And how to create QR codes. Okay, if you want to create QR codes for your paper or your videos, you can just go to qrcode monkey.com. Okay, I have the solution tool for listening, speaking, reading oral, language arts for TP1 until TP6, and also for reading comprehension and writing for TP5 and TP6. Okay, I have the same thought as Madam Lim just now, that Google Forms really works the best for my pupils. Okay, why? Because by using the Google Form, okay, because I'm teaching year 1 and year 2. Okay, year 1 and year 2 pupils, the best thing that they can do is they like taking photos and also taking videos. Okay, so I asked them to I'm going to give them examples first. We must have the examples. Okay, I give examples of the task. Let's say this one for speaking assessment, so they're going to look at the examples first, and then they're going to prepare their own task. It's not a long task. It is less than 1 minute task. Okay, because they are year 1, year 2. So I just give them simple tasks according to the level and also according to the TP. Okay. The way of assessment is I'm using remote assessment, because it's conducted away, means that they are at home and I'm at my home. So I just give them assessment. They do at home, they submit it to me, and then I give mark to them. Okay, why I do like Google Form? Because it is auto save in Google Drive and it is very flexible. Okay, before that, I'm going to show you, okay, this is one of my advanced learners pupils. He's year 2, okay?
Hi, my name is Dennis. This is my monster. His name is Goragon. He has 2 heads with a horn, 6 legs, 4 hands, and a long tail. He can swim faster than dolphins. He loves to eat seaweeds. Okay, bye.
Okay, now, what pupils can do is pupils also can learn even they are not at school. Okay, because I have this one, my special kid. Okay, this boy, okay, he didn't come to school for a very long period. Okay, but he still watch my videos, do the modules, do the assignments, tasks on the Google Form. Okay, even though he's not an intermediate or advanced learners, but he still can catch up with the lesson. Means that he can still understand what's the use of the certain sentence or words. Okay, let me show you.
I've got apple. I've got orange juice. I've got toys. My name is Adam Michael. I haven't got coconut. I haven't got banana. I haven't got it. It's good.
Okay, so like this boy, I'm not going to assess him. I'm not going to give marks based on the full sentences, but I'm going to give marks based on the content. I've got and I haven't got means that he did. Okay, he understood how to use it, when to use I've got and I haven't got. Okay, now pupils have more confidence in speaking. Okay, this kid, he really adores me very much because before this, he's very introvert, never speak in the classroom. When I ask, when we have a group discussions, group activities, he never joins. He never, he even he don't talk. He just sit at the corner watching friends doing activities. Okay, but after the RMCO, during the RMCO, okay, he really I'm really shocked with him because he can talk. He kept on talking, kept on talking. Whenever we have the class activities, he was the one who answered first. Okay, let us see.
Okay, can you play the piano?
No, I can't.
Can you swim?
Yes, I can.
Can you ride a horse?
No, I can't.
Can you ride a bike?
Yes, I can.
Can you play tennis?
No, I can't.
And last, can you dance?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Okay, this one.
Start.
Can you play the piano?
No, I can't.
Can you swim?
Yes, I can.
Can you ride a horse?
No, I can't.
Can you ride a bike?
Yes, I can.
Can you play tennis?
Yes, I can.
Okay, if you can see here, the lessons. Okay, the lesson is not restricted to the pupils only, but we can get the parents, the siblings, anyone around them to join them together to help them to improve on the confidence in speaking or in listening or in any activities that we've asked them or we've introduced to them. Yeah. Okay, now pupils can be creative in their own way. Okay, this is my year 2 kid. Okay, if you can see here, okay, he prepared the video by himself.
Hi, my name is Mama Hazin bin Aimudin. I'm from Mohd.
Where is the blue book?
It's in the green bag.
Where is the shell?
It's on the sandcastle.
Where are
Okay, for this activity, I gave out pictures. So one person is going to ask about, is going to ask the questions, and then the pupil, he or she is going to answer the questions by using the fixed sentences that I've taught in the video.
the toys?
They are in the blue box.
Where is the scissor?
Is on the table.
Where are the balloons?
They are on the floor.
Bye.
Okay. So pupils can also relate the lesson to their surrounding. So other than that, okay, for language art, what they can do is they can just use the real life in their house. Okay, anything they can just okay. We gave them. I like this one. This is for chapter. For the material, for the topic material. So they're going to look for the materials according to to this one, like this one is cool, strong, warm. So they're going to look for it. They're going to taste it. They're going to touch it. Okay, which one? This one is wool. Oh, wool. So wool is cool. So I'm going to put it under cool. So they're going to experience it. They're going to do it hands-on. Okay, instead of look at the pictures, they can have it real. They can have a real thing in front of them. Okay. So that's all. Thank you. Okay. So if anyone wants my module, you can always go to my Facebook. I've shared everything about for my modules. I've got 5 modules, 5 different topics. So you can just go to my Facebook, Nurulhafizah Mahmood, and you can just get it from there. Okay, that's all.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Nurulhafizah. It's just amazing. You know, you get the parents to actually work together with you, right? And then, yes, such good effort. And then I want to be in your lesson as well because I can see the videos are so interesting, right? So much effort on your part and also the parents' part,
Yeah.
I must say. All right. So, yes. Okay. So I noticed that you mentioned about
Yes.
report card just now, right? Okay. So how, where the parents actually have to fill in the marks for their kids. All right. So how reliable is this report card to be used as a PBD
Okay,
guideline?
how reliable? Actually, it is such a trust issue because not everybody is that is very trustworthy. But we can always remind them. Okay, I always remind them. Okay, please, I want you to be honest. Okay, I want you to do it by yourself without your parents' help. And then please, parents, write down the true marks. Okay, please don't cheat because this is kind of this is another trait how we are going to teach the kids. Okay, we're going to teach the kids to be honest. So if we are not honest, the kids maybe they will follow our bad trait. Okay, that's all.
All right, trust. Yep. Like I think Teacher Lim saying that the parents is actually the bridge between the teacher and the students, right?
Yes.
Yes, the part of the parents. Okay, the role of the parents actually. All right. So you also mentioned about the module is up on your Facebook, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, can you just tell us again your Facebook name?
Okay, just type down Nurulhafizah Mahmood. One word, Nurulhafizah. Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so thank you once again, Madam Nurulhafizah. Such amazing sharing.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. So, so ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, you can actually ask our presenter still. All right, you can just type in the comment box. All right, so we have come to the end of our series of webinars. All right, but we have a closing ceremony later on. So, 23 teachers have shared some of their practices that they have done for HBL during this CMCO period. Right, to all of us teachers, regardless of our age or where we teach or come from, this entire HBL is totally a new thing, an experience. Right, so none of us were ever trained or prepared for it. The whole world was never prepared for it. But one thing for sure, the pandemic has taught us to embrace the challenges and the changes that are happening now or even in the future. However, a point to be noted is no matter what happens, we teachers will survive. And we will always have our students at heart. Just look at all the amazing ideas that these teachers had shared. Some of it they wouldn't have even thought about a year ago. And now they have become experts in it. They've become explorers, right? So none of us would have thought that we would be teaching kids like this. So I guess our dream of Vision 2020 having flying cars never did come true. But to us teachers, Vision 2020 has come true in some way as we were all forced to think and create ways to educate our students using HBL. And we have excelled in it. Regardless of having internet access or not, we always find our way, right, teachers? So I guess, as the saying goes, once a teacher, always a teacher is so true. If you unlock a teacher's heart, you will see their students in it. All right. So if you miss any of our webinar, all right, you can always go and watch it again in our YouTube channel, our GPS YouTube channel. But don't forget to subscribe, share, and like the channel. All right. Okay. So while waiting for Datin, maybe we can have all the presenters on the screen. All right, presenters. Okay, okay, we will have Kira here with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fazilah, and thank you to all the presenters today, and also all the presenters. We have all together 23 presenters presented their best practices since last week and this week. So this is the final series of the sharing of best practices for home-based learning. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope that other teachers are inspired, to teach, okay, to never stop teaching and to reach out to your students. All right, and besides that, we want to celebrate our teachers, especially our Selangor English language teachers who had done their best during this period. Okay, thank you so much for your support. All right, and yeah, inshallah we will have other series, okay, other sessions in the future. So thanks everyone for joining us. Okay, that's all from me, and all of you teachers did a wonderful job. Well done. All right. Okay, pass over to Miss Faz.
All right, thank you, Cik Zahira. All right. Before we proceed to the next agenda, all right, let us watch a short video of this webinar. But first, I would like to welcome our Deputy Director, Learning Sector, Selangor State Education Department, Datin Nur Farida binti A. Bakar. It's an honor to have you with us today, Datin.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, so
yes, Miss Faz.
you can proceed, Datin.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera, salam JPN Selangor terbilang. Ya, alhamdulillah kita dapat bersama-sama pada series webinar, banyak series yang telah dilaksanakan oleh unit ya bahasa Inggeris. Thank you so much to all teachers yang sudi berkongsi berkongsi ilmu ya dalam platform webinar ini. Ya, terima kasih kepada semua guru-guru yang bersama-sama menyertai webinar pada kali ini. Saya ingin mengucapkan syabas kepada semua. Perkongsian ini adalah satu perkara yang sangat bagus yang perlu diteruskan agendanya. So saya berharap kita akan dapat banyak lagi webinar lah di mana sharing of teaching practices among all teachers are definitely noble, a noble action, a noble sharing session. So with this new norm where teachers are all at home, so we have many ways to teach our children. The most important thing is our children can learn wherever they are and wherever the teachers are. We need to see our children can get the education, can get what we teach them. So with many ways that we have, many ideas, many techniques, we can touch our students' heart. So I know it's very difficult for us to touch our students' heart. Hati ni kan, hati ni barulah mereka akan dapat belajar daripada kita sebagai seorang guru. Sedih kalau kita mengajar anak-anak murid kita tak dapat apa kan. So we need to find ideas, we need to share ideas, ways how to teach our children. It's not easy, and we teachers need to get as much skills as we can. Some techniques that we use may not be a good one for our students. So we have to look at how they learn, the way they learn. So we have to match our ways, our techniques to their way of learning. So itu sebabnya kita ada pembelajaran terbeza, pengajaran terbeza, latihan yang diberi juga berbeza antara satu sama lain. Mungkin groups, we have to look at groups of students. So we have to group them so that it's easier for us to teach group by group. Group by group. So dalam waktu sekarang ini di mana we are facing with a lot of difficult situations. So teachers, I know you are struggling to meet our students. You are struggling to teach our students. Sometimes it's not easy also to do assessment PBD, pentaksiran bilik darjah, di mana everyone of our students need to be assessed. So how to assess them? It depends on you, the teachers. You know best. You know best. You know your children. You know every one of your children. Now, this is the time where we have to look at not only the way they learn, but the background of our students, because it affects how they learn. It affects how do they learn. We need to look at their background because they don't have any facilities to learn. So sekarang ni memang sukarlah, tak ada peranti, tak ada laptop kan, tak ada telefon pun. Semua tak ada. So we have to give them modules, we have to give them books. So ini akan menyukarkan kita sebagai pendidik, tapi kesukaran itu akan menjadi mudah jika kita dapat bekerja bersama-sama. We have to cooperate among teachers. We need to cooperate, we need to understand. Do not complain, jangan komplain sikit-sikit nak komplain. Tu saya tak gemar lah jika ada guru yang begitu. Sepatutnya kita sama-sama bagaimana untuk menambah baik cara pendidikan kita. untuk menambah baik kerja buat kita, ya. Yang penting tu kita jangan salahkan murid kita itu ini, but we have to ask ourselves, we have to sukarlah saya bila nak sebutkan kan. So jiwa pendidik itu harus ada dalam diri setiap orang guru. Roh tu mesti ada. So kita takkan komplain apa-apa. Kita buat sebaik mungkin yang kita boleh. Kita perbaiki cara pengajaran kita sebaik mungkin. So I love to listen to what our teachers were sharing before in this webinar. And I would like to congratulate again to all teachers yang telah berkongsi pengalaman masing-masing. Bermula daripada Samuel, tempoh hari saya ada dan saya dengar it's very inspiring. Ramai guru-guru kita yang sama macam Mr. Sam, dan saya yakin ramai juga yang setanding sama dan juga lebih baik daripada Mr. Sam. Minta maaf Mr. Sam, you are the benchmark, ya. So tadi saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih dan syabas kepada semua, ya, kepada semua. So teruskan khidmat bakti cikgu-cikgu. Jangan lupa anak-anak kita memerlukan kita. We are relevant in their life. We are relevant, ya. So sedih kadang tu kan, kalau kita tak dapat jumpa murid-murid kita ni, sedih. Saya kalau bercerita tentang murid ni saya sedih sikit. Sama juga dengan cikgu-cikgu yang penuh cabaran pada hari ini. So cikgu teruskan menimba ilmu melalui platform-platform begini dan kita sebaik mungkin dapat melaksanakannya untuk anak-anak murid kita adopt and adapt. Ya, sekian, terima kasih. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alright, Waalaikumsalam. Alright, thank you Datin for a very heartfelt speech. Alright, we will now watch a video that we prepared earlier. Okay. We're having a technical problem. Just hold on for a second. All right, we're going to try to play the video again.
Cause I'm in the fashion, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Kink out, kick the drum, rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea, and I'll get my ping pong. This is getting heavy, can't hit the bass, boom, I'm ready. Life is sweet as honey, yeah, this beat treated like money. This go all alone, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm diamond, you know I glow. Hey, so let's go. Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring a friend, join the crowd, whoever wanna come along. Word up, talk, just move every up the wall. There night, skies the light, so we dance to the break dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, I got the medicine, so you should keep your eyes on the ball. This is getting heavy, can you hear the bass? Boom, I'm ready. Let me sit honey, yeah, this bitch ching like money. And this go all the Lord, I'm into that, I'm good to go, I'm down, you know how to glow. And let's go! Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring the fire, set the night light. Hey, shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. Whoa, whoa. Life is dynamite. Life is dynamite. Shining through the city with a little funky soul. So I'ma light it up like dynamite. na 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 na, eh. Da na 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 na, eh. Da na 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 na, eh. Light it up, dynamite. Da na 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 na, eh. Da na 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 na, eh. Da na 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 na, eh. Light it up, dynamite. 'Cause I'm in search tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little fucking soul. So light it up like dynamite. This is so watch me bring the fire, set the night alight. Shining through the city with a little fucking soul. Light it up like dynamite.
All right. Thank you, Datin, so much again for being with us
Thank you,
today.
class.
Okay. All right. So, with that, we have come to the end of our session. So the attendance link have already been posted on the comment box. So do look out for it. All right. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Utmost appreciation to our panel of presenters. We have Ms. Madihah, Mr. Nick Fazreen, Madam Lim, Madam Nurulhafizah, and of course to all of our wonderful audience who have taken the time to join us today. I'm sure these webinars have been a very fruitful journey for us and also inspiring, listening to all the inspiring teachers on how they overcome the challenges that they face, all right, the tools that they use, the apps that they use to make sure that learning is taking place. All right, and I agree with that thing. Whenever we talk about our students, we just feel something in our heart, right? That's just, we call Jiwa Pendidi, and I'm sure all teachers feel it as well. So with that, on behalf of the GPN, I would like to thank everyone. All right, and those, again, I would say anyone who missed our webinar, don't worry, as you can find these webinars on the JPS YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and like the channel. So till we meet again next time. All right, it's me, Fazilah, signing off with a reminder to all of teachers out there. Let's share our ideas with each other and support each other. So stay safe, stay healthy, and stay well, everyone. All right, bye.
Bye.